and I'm here with Animal from the Anti-Nowhere League, who's just done an amazing show at the 100 Club in London. So I believe the Anti-Nowhere League started back in 1980.
Yeah, just prior to that. We were I'll look at that, will you?
You can look at that one.
Yeah, prior to that, as punk rock started to wane a bit, just as Sid Vicious was getting a little bit out of control. Sid Vicious used to come from my town, by the way. We were.
Tunbridge Wells, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He was some mate. So just as punk started to wane a bit, really, the influence of New Romantic started coming, and there was a lot of boys who were still wanted the punk scene. In violent times, 1980 was violent times. So you had a lot of people angry.
Yeah.
And then when music started becoming lightweight, a lot of people wanted the angrier side of it. Hence, exploited GBH and bands like us, who I like to think of us being the bastard sons, really, because we were like the second wave and the unspoken, the great unnamed. People don't talk about the second wave really, because it was just so antisocial, and it was not. There was enough violence on the streets, and people losing their work and their jobs, and Margaret Thatcher was sort of in control, and everybody was on the take, and to have bands shout about wasn't really flavour of the month.
Yeah.
People wanted New Romantic, and we had to drift off into a little bit of fantasy, but we wanted the real world. The real world was bloody hard. So yeah, to answer your question, we started roughly, got together 79, flew the flag of rebellion.
Yeah, and your first single, I believe, was Streets of London, and So What was the B-side?
That's it.
Well, So What, it's an amazing song, but it's pretty offensive. Did you write that?
Yeah, I don't see in this day, it was just sort of two fingers up to everything. I think most good songs are 2-minute songs. I think if you mother them for weeks in, weeks out, you lose the flavour. It was a 5-minute song about fuck everybody, and that was the attitude really of our band. I mean, everybody had things to say about politics and stuff, and we just, he was just fucking, he was just fed up with everybody. And So What was just represented the time and the nonsense of the lyrics being, I don't give a fuck sort of attitude.
And did it get on top of the pops?
Well, we got on top of the pops, but we won't film because, long story, we were thrown out on top of the pops, which wasn't difficult to do. I mean, we were being thrown out of everywhere and banned from everywhere because people didn't like our lyrics, and we didn't want to be accepted by mainstream anyway. So Top of the Pops was just another band. It was nothing great. They said we could do Top of the Pops if I didn't carry my axe on stage. Well, they say don't do something, you're obviously going to. So we walked through the BBC buildings carrying an axe, which everybody thought, I don't know what they thought I was going to do with it, but they escorted us. Well, they tried to get us out of the building first, but then obviously we locked ourselves in the dressing room and said, no, we're not going anywhere till you pay us, because you was going rate at the time for people to go on top of the pot, £72 I think it was per person. And obviously we travelled up there and said, we're not leaving here. We locked ourselves in the dressing room, and they had all big conflab outside about how to get rid of us. So we said, well, it's quite simple, fucking pay us and we'll go. And then they escorted us out of the building after paying us. But it was only just another thing, we walked out just laughing about it, and we bumped into people like Billy Connolly and a few other people in there that were saying, oh, ain't you know what I fucking heard about you, and it was a bit of fun. It wasn't skullduggery. It was just another thing to piss people off,
Yeah, because you mentioned The Exploited, and a lot of their lyrics are very heavy and very political, whereas yours are much more just fun and just a bit of a laugh.
It was just
joke.
It was really the fun side of the stupidity we were living. You know, we got a lot of aggressive songs in there, but also a lot of stupid ones. And you know, I always get slammed about women. You know, and my husband's quite easy. You ask my woman to write a song about me, it'll be far more offensive. You know, let's face it, I'm not going to write about another bloke, am I? You know, so you know, it is fun. I think people take it too seriously. You know, we were honest, and you know, and thinking about people like Jimmy Savile and that now, who just proved everything we knew what was going on anyway. We knew it. The punk scene knew it. Everybody knew all these things were going on. So you know, most of the lyrics just
yeah, to
you know,
bring the hooks of the government
and I think
the establishment.
yeah, the honesty side of it and the fun side of it, people really couldn't get our heads around with us. We were bike gang members or skinhead guys, and then all of a sudden we were having a bit of fun as well as, you know, taking the piss out of people. It was just our bag, you know. As they exploit, you know, they've got their own feelings, what they feel about things in Scotland. I don't live in Scotland, I live in Tunbridge Wells, where people are stupid.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did first see you in Scotland, actually. Ivory Blacks in Glasgow about 4 years ago, and I don't think it was as violent then as it was tonight. Do you get a lot of violence at your gigs?
No.
Yeah, because that was probably the most... I've seen people bashing into each other, but that was probably the most violent gig I've seen.
Yeah, you know, nowadays it's, you know, even if there is, it makes no difference. You know, I think young bucks have got to throw themselves about, and old men.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's kind of fighting going to break out. I think it's just people enjoying the gig.
Sometimes it does, yeah. Sometimes you can push people a bit too far. Sometimes they allow, you know, a few drinks in people, they change, don't they? And I think, you know, you get that anywhere you go. You go to a local church, people probably just be violent people in there if they want drinks.
I mean, I'm from up Manchester, and I know you used to play quite a lot in a pub called the Thatched House. Don't know if you remember it.
Oh, near Manchester.
Never actually, yeah, Stockport.
Yeah, he was another band guy, wasn't he? I can't remember his name.
Well, Banjo, I don't know if he was in a band.
Yeah. He was in a band, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was. Many years ago, but anyway, my memory might be wrong.
That venue shut, and then we had another venue in Stockport that shut, so we're kind of finding a lot of establishments that have live music on are shutting now. Are you finding that a lot of the places you used to go over the years?
We're the last cowboys, there's no doubt about it, you know. I feel a bit, when I was going to say sorry, that's silly, but I feel that kids in the bands are hard done by now. In our days, it was just, there wasn't that many bands around, you just jumped out, you couldn't play, and it didn't matter. But now, you know, the pressure's on so much, and you know, to actually get your band up and running, it's a million miles. I think people just think they're just going to get a guitar and become a rock star immediately. You know, you have to do your ball walking. You have to go around the places in Newcastle and Glasgow and that for them to tell you if you've got any chance of living a bit. But they to walk the boards now, the hardship of the band. You know, to keep a band going, it's much harder than it used to be. And unless you get taken on by a major company, and then it's wonderful. But for every one of those, there's 100,000 who don't. So you know, whereas the punk stage always used to be the ideal stage. You know, if you you know, even if you didn't want a career out of it, you'd have a few years of a bit of fun, and that was the good about the punk stage. And you know, that unfortunately is now the venue shutting. A few years it's going to be, you know, none of these venues. They've all been turned into the housing estates and, you know, turned into living accommodation. You know, in these venues now, who are scratching, trying to make some money on beer and gigs. They'll just sell their place for $500,000 and get it
You had a go, didn't you, at doing Nowhere Records? That did not last very well.
Well, no, it's just the fact that money again, we tried to do it ourselves. I think if we'd done it 10 years earlier, we would have been alright. But obviously, you know, people nick your stuff, download it for free. That stalled us before we even got a chance. You know, you release, I think it was a Rampton album of Big Iron, was our first flagship sort of album, and you sell one copy and then the world's got it. You know, and you know we can't absorb that. You know, you spend a load of money putting an album, you just can't absorb it. And everyone who downloads it for nothing and Spotify's or whatever they do nowadays, you know, it just kills it.
So what's the last single? This Is War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got anything in the pipeline?
Well, we just re-recorded We Are the League.
Yeah, that's
With,
a good one.
with a sort of like modern feel to it, with all the original lyrics, because I got banned from using all the original lyrics years ago. I had to rewrite the album 3 or 4 times, so there is no real We Are the League.
I love those lyrics. What is it? We are the league and we are shit, but we're up here and we're doing it. That's like in your face, and that's true, really.
Well,
you've got to admire people.
It's not exactly the right
Right,
lyrics.
is it? Oh, go on then. What are the right lyrics?
Yeah. You think we're shit.
Right, you think we're shit, yeah. I don't think you are, though.
I might change it though.
Yeah.
I might change it. We are the league and we are shit. Yeah. But anyway, the original album has lyrics exactly how I wrote them. It's on this album. I don't think it'll offend the mothers anymore, but there'll be a lot of people who have bought the first album and went, we'll go, shit, I never knew it said that. I think it is a lot more common with the lyrical side. And of course it's how we are now. So it has a lot of rock feel to it.
So, are Nick and Animal kind of the same person, or is Animal your stage persona?
I think I've always been Nick. There was a name I was given, but I didn't want to be Animal at all. I was on bike club member. My bike club had was old Nick.
Right.
I was the youngest member. Old Nick the Ambler, and I was the youngest bike gang. It was only because the song Animal, which was about people like Jimmy Savile, people didn't cotton on to it. I could say I'm an animal, child molester, you know, Gary Glitter, there was a whole lot of it going on.
Yeah.
And now obviously it's all coming out, but obviously at the time everyone kept shouting me, you're an animal, animal, and you know, I gave up, so I'll say no. I just gave up sort of trying to say no.
We're going now. Oh, my phone. Yeah, you take care.
We can do it again.
Yeah, I'll speak to Darren about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Take care, Jimmy. This album is the honest one before the police pulled it to pieces. So it's quite interesting.
But where did the name come from, Anti-Nowhere League? Because it's kind of A&L, like with Animal, and I just wondered where you got the name from.
No, see, they shared Animal, it was just really good. A&L was abbreviated, but of course it was the anti-Nazi league, there was like A&L clashed with a few things, so we put the W in there, but NW being no.
Right.
You know, it was the anti-Nowhere League for a lot of anti-things going on at the time. Everyone was anti-something or other. So anti-Nowhere just means the deadheads who were anti-deadhead. Just sort of like had a funny sort of Monty Python feel to it. And over the years it's sort of like become easier to say. At first people can say, but now it's a lot easier. You know, you just I think it stood the test of time. Like with us, it stood the test of time. I often think that, you know, the interest we have now for the rock scene is quite interesting, because we were half rockers and half, you know, we never labelled ourselves, just the punk scene come along and that angry thing, we liked the punk music, we jumped on board and did our version. It's just that now the test of time seems to be...
Yeah, I mean, you played with the likes of Motorhead, Rancid, so... Have you actually played with Metallica at the Anti-Nowhere League, or have you
Not with
just
the
sung with
Anti-Nowhere
them?
League. Well, we've done it at festivals. We did the last download with them, same day, not with them on stage together. But then we're doing it at Sonisphere this year, the same day. This is near as you get us, but they're good guys, they look after me all the time.
And how did it feel for a band like Metallica to want to cover your song? Is that pretty awesome?
it's no more awesome, believe the young punk saying, you know, oh, we play your song, you know, what's the song we learn, you know. The only difference, obviously, the money, you know, no doubt about it. Financially, and they always look after me and call me up, you know, fly up to their parties and stuff like that. So I can't knock them because they look after us.
So you're going to be at Sonisphere later this year. So you're going to be at Sonisphere.
Yes.
So anybody hopefully can catch the Anti-Nowhere League at Sonisphere. Thank you very much for talking to us,
and I
Animal.
think Sonisphere is quite interesting again because Metallica the same thing. Is that we, whether we want it or not, but it always creates a sort of magic sort of thing. So many people still think that we covered Metallica's song.
No, and it's them.
It's a bit of a buzz. I really enjoy more and more.
Well, hopefully they'll invite you up to cover it.
Well,
So
yeah,
treat
that would be
people
good.
at
Wouldn't it?
Sonisphere.
I know that last time we did it, you know, and in San Francisco with them, and you know, it was quite shocking because obviously the equipment is metallic or something. The equipment is all powerful, so I shouted bang, 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 it sort of blows everything up. And it all sort of stood back when we did rehearsal. Fucking hell, set of pipes you've got there, you know. It is not what I'm used to, but it's
Right. So you've got a new album coming out, and we'll see you at Sonisphere. So thank you very much for speaking to PlanetMosh. Thank you very much.